Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel VAG Technique. We have evening time, which means nobody is here. We have finally time to do something, and by do something I mean the Audi S1. What you see in the previous video, we've been doing checks. So the car usually comes to us for a check only, for a coolant leak, oil leak, don't remember. But obviously you see in the video, if not, go and check it. There are more issues. So I spoke with the owner. Obviously he wasn't really happy, but on the end of the day, he do understand if you want to keep the car, it needs an investment, and unfortunately, everything sort of come at the same point. So this will need loads of cash. In this situation, it will actually need a box of parts. So most of the parts are actually genuine, except I believe the clutch kit. So TPS was asking about 580 quid for a 3-piece clutch kit. We get a Saks, I don't know, from Eurocarpats or somewhere, doesn't matter. And I believe it was like up to 300 quid, something like that. So all this, what you see here, gotta go onto the car. And because we can't repair the engines when they're in the engine bay, we'll be removing the engine. So decision was made because we have to do the timing change, which means the engine mount from this side gotta come off and the gearbox gotta come off. So the gearbox mount from that side gotta come off, which means the engine is not hanging on anything. So the logical step in this point will be remove the engine, unfortunately. I believe it can't be removed from the top because the turbo will not let us go over there. And I don't want to drop it from underneath because the subframe needs to be removed. So I believe the best thing will be to remove the bumper and the slam panel and just pull the engine up front. So I'm not sure if it's going to be 1 video, 2 videos, 5 videos. We're going to proceed. It's before Christmas. We would like to give him the car back before Christmas. So I'm really hoping there will be no issues and the whole job will go in a steady sort of tempo. So let's get to it. So we are in the progress of removing the engine. Obviously we start from the top and we remove air filter, dog bone, few hoses from the turbo and stuff. One of the dry shaft is already off and we have to still drain the coolant. We drain the oil from the engine, which doesn't look like it's been very fresh. However, this looks very fresh. And next up, I gotta do the other dry shaft, and I'm thinking how we're gonna disconnect the prop shaft, because Mr. Proppy shaft, I believe, is only slide on, and also the exhaust, I'm thinking how we will remove it. Maybe if we can leave this part on there and do it from the top, that will be ideal, if the prop shaft will be playing with us. And I'm really hoping we will get away by not dropping the subframe. That will be ideal situation. So right now we're gonna drain the coolant and we'll be making ourselves way to drop the front bumper, and then we will see what's the situation. Okay, so the slam panel is off along with the radiators. We have to disconnect the air conditioning like this, so the compressor can't be removed and hang it on the side. This was completely stuck. The other one to the front radiator was completely stuck, and I forgot to disconnect these two connectors from the horns, and it came off. So right now we have to continue with the fuel hose, another coolant pipe which is going in there, another coolant pipe which is going in there. We have another 2 going to the heating matrix in there. Vacuum already disconnected. These cables for the gearbox already disconnected. We will be removing the exhaust from here, from this clamp. So that's not that difficult, but I don't know why the bolt is from the other side. Yeah, some expert was working on it before us, never mind. And generally, the biggest problem what I've seen is the prop shaft. So I'm not sure if that will be just like pop out, but hopefully it will be. Loom is just one loom going around here into the ECU over there. That's easy. We have one mine grind cable somewhere there. So I think probably in 1 hour the engine should be out. and the engine is removed, as you can see, and we are ready to take it apart. So the gearbox is coming off, the whole loom, the coil packs, the whole timing chain covers, intake, the whole bracket which is holding the alternator, oil filter housing the same time, and everything will be resealed. The alternator looks fairly new. Wonder who was doing that. And you can see now how it was leaking from there. It's very freshly oily. So all the covers you can see, oil. The plastic cover, every single time when we're doing something with it, it's going a new cover on it. So you gotta clean up everything. Also, we're replacing the metal timing chain cover, because when you're gonna take it off, you're always gonna twist it, bend it a bit, and then we don't wanna have any leaks. So for a few pounds on top for the whole job, it's not a big deal really. And also we'll be taking the whole carrier off, because right now it's the correct time. So you can see now, see how it's oily from there. So yeah, it will be loads of fun, and we have to strip it to a point where we can access everything. So probably another couple of hours incoming, and I'm really hoping there will be no issues or unexpected things. Okay guys, so we are checking the clutch. I believe it's all good. Yeah, it doesn't need replacing. This is good for another Nürburgring, like a weekend easily. The dual mass flywheel, it's always 50-50. At this point, it's the other 50, because if we will not look at the hotspots, yeah, for some reason the flywheel is going like too much. So yeah, I believe we need to replace the flywheel as well. We have to let the owner know. Also, the rear crankshaft seal, we will not replace it because it looks good, and there's additional 8 bolts what needs to be removed, so we will not do that. Of course, the bolts for the dual mass flywheel, they won't be replaced as well, because they are good. And if you like my sarcasm, just let me know in the comments. Okay, so we removed the intake manifold. As you can see, this is dual injection, so it's not that bad from the carbon still. But if you have a look at these separator flaps which are inside the cylinder head, wherever was another injector clean, and it is sort of clean, but the other side is dirty from the carbon. So next up, what we have to do, we will continue stripping it, alternator, air conditioning pump, water pump, the whole bracket and everything from this side. Then we will probably continue from the timing chain side. Don't forget we are doing the bracket on the top, or the camshaft carrier, and we will find out what's actually wrong with it. But it didn't really rattle, so I don't think there will be any issues, and I'll show you the common problem on these engines. Okay, so the 2-liter from Audi S1, what's left of it, has been stripped down. Everything what needs to be removed was removed. And now let's have a look at the overall condition of the engine. So the main source of leak, we already know that, was leaking from the whole housing bracket for the oil cooler. We will be replacing the oil cooler. Everything is here. So this gasket, I believe, you can probably tell it is quite old and it requires replacing. Oil cooler, I don't think it's bad, but from the experience what we have, we will replace it with a new gasket just to be sure, because the last thing we want to have afterwards is just kind of an oil coolant mixage. So that will be all sorted. Vacuum pump wasn't leaking, we're just going to replace the main gasket to the cylinder head and camshafts. So the whole engine inside looks pretty shiny, I believe, so it's not that bad. And even if you have a look at the camshaft carrier and everything, it seems to be in very good condition with almost no scratches, and it looks good. So that will be fine. We're just gonna clean it. We will put fresh silicone on there. This is actually not a silicone from the factory. That's kind of a different compound which is like really hard and it's very fragile. So I believe that's the whole problem why it was like leaking. Cover for the timing chain, somebody tried to repair the magnets which were in the front, and they put silicone on there, where you've seen, so that will be all cleaned up. We have a brand new cover. Reason why, in between all the points, they're quite far, and it will be like a bridge. It will be bending, so it will be very tight here, but the plastic will literally bend in between the 2 points and it will leak. So that's why we're putting new cover, new gaskets. This cover was never replaced, it's from 2015, so still genuine, original, like the car came from the factory. If you've seen these, we're gonna clean them all up, so that will be all sorted. And general engine, yeah, so intake was removed. What you've seen, we're gonna do a walnut cleaning. We have to clean off everything from the top. The hydraulic lifters, rocker arms and everything internally was in good condition. Yeah, so for 130,000 miles, I must say it looks really good. We will be replacing a gasket on here. I don't have the O-ring for this one here, but I'll get one, so that will be replaced. Also, the owner decided to go for a new dual mass flywheel. That will be here on Monday, unfortunately. And from the front, what can I say? It is dirty. We're just gonna clean it. The timing chains, brackets and everything, again, I don't think it was ever done, because we have here 2015 again. So these are 130,000. Yeah, after 130,000, the brackets, I don't see any groove, so it looks good. Obviously, it's still a plastic. It can get fragile over the years, how it's going through the heat cycles, when it's going to warm up and get the cold condition again. So we're going to replace it just to make sure it will last another 10-15 years. This is the bridge, which is basically an oil supply from the cylinder head to the camshaft adjusters. And the old ones used to have like a strainer from this side, which is not there anymore, because they knew the strainer is getting busted and all that oil pressure is getting blocked by the strainer. So the oil supply on these engines is huge compared to the old ones, and we will be replacing it, because if you're going to start losing oil pressure from these 2 points, you will have oil pressure light on. So that will go new. We're also going to replace the bolts. This is a tensioner, but we will be replacing these 2, which are like opposite thread, again like oil valves. Yeah, so we're gonna put 2 new, just because of the strain of the plastic which is on there, so it have the best days behind them, so that will go all new. So we have everything ready here from TPS basically. We have everything here for the transfer box as well. That will be stripped down, cleaned up, reseal. We're gonna do everything what we need. The only non-genuine thing is that cover, because TPS didn't have it from back order, so we get it from I don't know where, but all the other bits are actually genuine, and the clutch and the flywheel will be sucks. So we do try to supply all the genuine parts because of the quality. The warranty, of course, is 12 months warranty, but when it comes to any kind of warranty job, it is more complicated. So we are literally putting our ass in the problem, and we are guaranteeing you that the parts will be good. So far, I believe 99.999% never ever had an issue with the genuine parts. It can happen, but it's not happening that often, so that's why we're sticking to the genuine stuff. When it comes to the chains and everything, so this is a chain after 130,000 miles. Let's check the length. This is how the chain looks like. The one on the right is new genuine chain, and the one on the left is the one from the engine. So to be completely honest, I don't see by a naked eye any difference in the length. So they can stretch, I'm not saying, but this one is in really good condition. Again, something what might last for many miles, but we are just making sure that while we're going to replace it, because nobody wants to be stripping the engine now and again after 2,000-3,000 miles. We want to put the engine back in with most of new stuff and just use the car for another several years and just do oil change and basic maintenance. We will proceed in the next video with cleaning everything, putting it back together, and I believe by Tuesday probably it can be all sorted. So currently we will finish the video here. This is part 1 of a 130,000 miles Audi S1 engine, and I'm looking forward how we will actually clean it all up, put it back together, and how the engine will look like after everything is done. So that's all from the video, guys. Thank you for watching. Take care for now. We'll see you in the next one.